They're in South Florida with loved ones in Puerto Rico are keeping a close eye on the damage from Fiona.
CBS 12's Lily Ortiz spoke with members of the community tonight over in Riviera Beach with some connections to the island. She has the very latest now.
The devastation in Puerto Rico is a painful reminder of what many went through 5 years ago after Hurricane Maria hit. That life-changing storm prompted many to move right here to our area to rebuild. Or right now, as charitable groups are trying to figure out how to help, some are waiting on word from their families.
Over here, they lost power.
Tonight inside La Cocinita Latina near West Palm Beach, owner Max Lucena and his friend Nancy Valentin are leaning on to each other for support as they desperately wait to hear from their loved ones after Hurricane Fiona slammed through the region over the weekend.
I haven't been able to talk to my mom and see how she's doing, how's the house.
There is sadness, there is a lot of water, people without houses, but we've done this before. We're strong.
The blow from Fiona was made more devastating because Puerto Rico has yet to recover from Hurricane Maria. It hit as a Category 5, killing more than 3,000 people and destroying the island's power grid. Fiona again knocked out the same rebuilt grid with major landslides and rushing floods. The governor of Puerto Rico called it catastrophic and warned it could take days to restore power.
Frightening images, water damages, cars floating away, houses floating away.
As the damage grows, so does the need for help.
We as Puerto Ricans, we stick together in these hard, difficult times, and we will be resilient again.
Relief is on the way from the American Red Cross, Palm Beach, and the Treasure Coast. Volunteers left Monday morning to join the others already on the island. Besides the emergency items, another thing these volunteers take with them are the lessons learned from Hurricane Maria 5 years ago, so that they can operate even without the power grid operating.
The Red Cross, along with other community partners, put in a solar system at many of the schools in Puerto Rico, which is where some of the 120 shelters are right now. And those shelters were the only places on the island that had power during the storm.
And as charities are preparing to get operations running, Florida Agricultural Commissioner Nikki Fried says be cautious because scammers are trying to take advantage of this dire situation. She says do your research and pay attention to any obvious red flags like copycat websites.
The judge in the sentencing trial of Parkland school shooter Nikolas Cruz will not be stepping down despite the defense's request for her to do so. Cruz's team made that request on Friday after the judge chastised them for abruptly resting their case, saying Cruz won't have a fair trial. Here's some of what the judge said to the defense team last week.
You all knew about this, and even if you didn't make your decision till this morning, to have 22 people plus all of this staff and every attorney march into court, be waiting as if it's some kind of game. Now I have to send them home. The state's not ready. They're not going to have a witness ready. We have another day wasted. I honestly, I have never experienced a level of unprofessionalism in my career. It's unbelievable.
The jury will return on September 27th with closing arguments set for October 10th. Live out west, or know someone who does. You know, part of the appeal of living in places like the Acreage, Loxahatchee, or Jupiter Farms is more space and less restriction from things like HOAs.
Yeah, but that could be changing soon. Our Dylan Huberman joins us with more about how an old rule being enforced for property owners is having a big impact on people who have big rigs.
Residents have technically never been able to have semis on their property, but have long gotten away with it without much of a fight. Now that may be changing, with the opposition intensifying. Ricky Shepard has kept his truck at his longtime Acreage home for more than a decade. He's not happy to hear about this development, so much so that he says he may skip town.
Oh my God. You see, when I came here, this thing was boondocks. That road out there was dirt road.
Palm Beach County Commissioner Melissa McKinley says that some neighbors are causing this attention.
You've got a changing population in the Acreage community, and you've got neighbors that are calling and complaining against neighbors.
Yet while she feels for those who are impacted by this development, this isn't a change in code, it's a change in activity.
It's frustrating for them because they've been able to do this without anybody noticing. It doesn't make it legal for that to have occurred. It's just we typically don't have the staff and the resources to just randomly patrol neighborhoods. So if a problem is brought to our attention, then we have to go and look at it.
She had been seeking an overlay, which would provide a special protection within the area for residents to keep their rigs. But with the Indian Trail Improvement District pushing back, some local residents may be seeking a more drastic measure.
There's been a community group out in the Acreage that has talked about creating their own city. It would be Palm Beach County's 40th city. Creating their own municipality would give them the right to create their own zoning rules and their own code enforcement rules.
McKinley encourages any residents who may take issue with this code enforcement to make their concerns known to the Improvement District and get this on the Commission's agenda in the future.